Isn't the camera? TV.
I think it's probably the cable.
I felt the exposure on that. It's
All right,
great.
All right, good morning. We'll go ahead and reconvene for this Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. The time is now 9:24 a.m. We'll get the meeting back underway after our executive session. We'll go on to item number 7. This is our monthly reports, and we'll bring Jody Lair up for the 4-H report.
All right, Jody.
Good morning.
I said you said it correctly.
All right.
All right, it's on. Our 4-H shooting sports spaghetti feed is on Sunday, March 8th at the Codington County Extension Complex. It'll be from 11 to 2. It's a free will offering. Shooting sports continues on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. Many of our 4-H youth have been competing on weekends and shoots around the state. Our 4-H shooting sports raffle is beginning today. Tickets are going to be available for our 4-H shooting sports youth and at the extension office. So I'll be handing them to them tonight to sell those. A big thank you, I should say, to all of our volunteers that helped at the farm show that we wrapped up last month. I don't know where February went, but anyway, big thank you to all those people that came to help us. Codington County has one youth, Tryson Jones, along with 13 other South Dakota 4-H youth attending the Citizen Washington Focus and Ignite 2026 conference. He'll be going March 24th through the 29th in DC. CWF and Ignite will continue the mission of empowering teens to become informed and engaged citizens while offering expanded opportunities for collaboration, innovation, inspiration along peers from across the country. So CWF used to be a week-long trip to DC in the summer. They've moved it to March. Kids are just so busy in June. And this way they can meet people from across the state, not just four states. So they're going to be people from all over the United States. We do have a 4-H sewing workshop on Saturday, March 28th. That will be led by the Magic Needlers Quilt Guild. I'll be attending the South Dakota Association of Extension Professionals and 4-H Spring Conference in Rapid City, March 31st to April 2nd. And we're busy planning for some summer activities and continuing clover buds this week. So,
Oh, good.
yeah,
Great. Good.
lots of stuff.
Thank you.
All right.
Jody.
Yep.
Thanks, Jody.
Thanks, Jody.
Let's move on
Thanks,
to
Jody.
Jay, our Veteran Service Officer, for that update. Good morning, Jay.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
So our update for February here in March, we have 127 open claims, 53 of them pending action from the VA and 51 completed year to date. We have 15 Hamlin open claims, Hamlin County, 6 pending action from the VA and 8 completed year to date. We're currently working 9 veterans outside of our county, with 0 of those for the year completed. I'm going to clarify here on this next number, 9,956 for the month of February. It's an increase on their monthly compensation for veterans that have filed. So that means those veterans that received a notification letter from the VA stating that their claim was completed, they may have went from 10% for something up to 30%, and that's what that number is. So all those together come up for 9,956 for the month. And then year to date, we have $24,412 that's been increased for the month. 72,535 for the month of February regarding retro payments. That's when we filed a claim 6 months or more ago, and now the VA is bringing it up to current date, so their retro payment. And for the year to date on that, we have $177,468. We have 3 veterans transported in the month of February, and we have 2 planned for the month of March. We currently have 4 drivers. We've lost 1 driver. They chose to retire and not do that volunteerism, but we have 1 more application being processed by the VA currently, so we'll see where that takes us. Our current operations, we have normal day-to-day business, people walking in, people calling for appointments, and we're helping them with processing claims. We're looking to plan a second quarter outreach event. Remember, I spoke about outreach events. Actually, Avantera reached out to us. The director from Avantera reached out and said, hey, would you be willing to come and do an informational brief to residents and family members. So we're looking at
Good.
planning that for April. Future, we have meeting with commanders for Codington County Veterans Council tonight at 5:30. And then radio, I'll be on the radio at 8:30 and 9:05 on Thursday. On the 21st of March at 10 a.m. out at the Watertown Readiness Center, there'll be a M-Day pre-retirement seminar. So an M-Day meaning part-time soldier, traditional soldiers that are looking to retire. I'll go out there and tell them what they could possibly have for benefits with the VA. And then on the 24th of March from 5 to 7 p.m. out at the Watertown Armory, we'll have a What's Brewing event, outreach event that will concentrate on different topics such as burial benefits, markers, the South Dakota State Veterans Cemetery in Sioux Falls, and the South Dakota State Veterans Home out in Hot Springs. And the VA will be discussing eligibility requirements for VA healthcare and give us information regarding caregiver support program, respite care, nursing home care, and nursing care in general. Okay,
A lot going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
busy.
we are busy.
Yep.
Any
Was that all
questions?
day? The 24th, was that all day?
No, sir, it's from 5 to 7 p.m. Yep.
7 p.m.
And that's for veterans and their families. Okay,
And that was out at the Ready.
Watertown Readiness Center.
Okay. All right,
Thank
any
you,
questions?
Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay,
right,
thank you.
thanks, Jay.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, let's move on to item number 8. This is action to award highway supplies and weed chemical bids. You should have the information in your packet. We will take these in 2 separate motions instead of just doing one big group motion. We'll take the highway supplies first. But Randy, you want to give us an update on that?
Certainly. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
We met on Friday, the 27th, outside to open up the bids, just to speed up this process a little bit. So what you have in front of you is the boiled down information. For the highway department supplies for this year, for our concrete pipe, we had 2 bidders, Chemcast out of Hartford and Rinker out of Rapid City. For 24-inch concrete pipe, Rinker came with the lowest bid at $45.01. For the 36-inch concrete pipe, Rinker again came in low at $82.67. For the 60-inch concrete pipe, Rinker came in with low bid at $220.48. For a 40-foot bridge deck, Rinker came in with the low bid, only bid, excuse me, at $12,496. For a 50-foot bridge deck, Rinker again came in, only bid, $16,000. For box culvert, the 8x8 section, Chemcast was the only bid at $723.94. And for a 10x10 box culvert, Chemcast again came in at the only bid at $877.50.
Okay.
For our corrugated pipe or steel pipe in this case, we had taken our bids from Beetle County, and they do the legwork for all this, and it's from True North, which is also in Huron. For the 18-inch 16-gauge pipe, came in at $24 per foot. For the 24-inch 16-gauge, came in at $30.40. For the 30-inch 14-gauge, came in at $40. For the 36-inch 14-gauge, came in at $57.80. 60-inch 14-gauge came in at $99.12. For the 72-inch 12-gauge came in at $162.96. Then for the 96-inch 12-gauge pipe came in at $218.40. Then we go to larger pipe. We go to 108-inch 12-gauge, came in at $243.60. For the 60-inch arched pipe, came in at $149.85. For the 72-inch arched pipe, came in at $179.45. For the 108-inch arched pipe, came in at $268.25. And then we move on to bridge lumber. That came in at $242.13. For the next category, we moved down to fuel. We had two bids for that. Came in from Cole from Madison and Sioux Valley here in town. Sioux Valley came in with the lower bid across the line for both our number 2 diesel, our number 1 diesel, and our E10. The bid for the number 2 diesel within Watertown was $2.39 per gallon. For the outside shops, it's $2.54 per gallon. For the number 1 diesel in the town, bid was $2.58. For the number 1 outside shops, $2.73. And then for our E10, $2.32. Then we moved down to liquid asphalt. We had two bidders, Flint Hills out of Marshall, Minnesota, and Jebro, which is out of Sioux City, but they have a plant in Corson. For the MC70, we can only get a bid from Jebro, and that came in at $1,117.21. Likewise, for the MC3000, we only got a bid from Jebro. That was for $893.42. The difference between this materials is the MC70 and the 3000 are a diesel-based fluid, and the others are water-based. And Flint Hills only deals in the water base, so that goes on to the next items. For AE 150S, the bid from Flint Hills came in at $638. For the CSS H1, came in at $584. For the 1H D30, came in at $494. And for the 1H D50, came in at $388. Then we moved down to pea gravel. For that, we had three bidders, Basin out of Hayti, Conaig out of Watertown here, and Dunnick also out of Watertown. The winning bid came in from Conaig at $7.65. Then we moved down to gravel crushing, and this is only for gravel surfacing, which is a 3/4 inch road base, or road surface rather, excuse me, that we put down. That was a lone bidder from Brownlee here in town, came in at $2.94. And then finally, for our asphalt patching, we had one bidder, and that was from Dunnick here in town. For cold mix, came in at $175 per ton. For hot mix, 1/2 inch, came in at $81 per ton. For 3/4 inch hot mix, came in at $78 per ton. And then for hot mix, 1/2 inch and virgin, that came in at $94 per ton. And that is all I had for supplies for this year.
Okay, look for a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Hold on just a second, Brenda. We have a motion by Gable, second by McElhaney. Discussion. Brenda?
May I ask that you just keep the, like last year, we did the True North Steel, the bid from Beetle County separate for the pipe and then the bridge lumber, that we have a separate bid for that and all the rest on a motion?
Okay. All right. So the pipe and the lumber, you said?
Yeah, the bid with, Beetle County, so it's the metal pipe and then the bridge lumber. Is that correct, Randy?
Yes.
Since they bid that for us, we can keep that one separate from all the other ones that Randy collected.
Good. Make a substitute motion to do just the Beetle, just to accept the bid of the Beetle County. What's the proper term for that? Use their bid. Use. That's fine. That a substitute motion.
Purchase the corrugated metal pipe and bridge lumber from Beetle County bid award.
Yeah, that's
Okay, is that your motion?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
substitute
substitute.
motion. All right. And a second by McElhaney. Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Now let's move on to the remainder
Thank you.
of those items.
So maybe.
Thank you, Randy.
Motion to approve the rest.
All right, motion to approve the rest of the bids.
Second.
Gable. And second by McElhaney.
Yep.
On this motion. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to the weed chemical bids. We'll get Steve up here with those. By the way, I have to commend you on how this process played out this year. It's a lot smoother. So thank you very much for that. Morning, Steve.
Good morning. All right, in front of you, I believe you guys have all the list of what I had turned out for exception. This year we had three candidates that took in for bids this year: Van Dees Supply, Nutrien Solutions, and Dakota Ag Center. We'll start off the top of the list with aquatic glyphosate. I'm requesting to accept from Van Dees Supply for $20.64. For Roundup Pro or equivalent, I would be requesting from Nutrien Solutions, Mad Dog 5.0 for $17.70, plus also Maze or
Okay.
McKay's, there we go, for $16. And one of the reasons for that is because Mad Dog is a 5.4 active ingredient and the other one is 4.1. It actually turns around and equates pretty close to exactly the same amount price per usage. So in the plateau area, I am requesting to have Van Dees Supply for Plateau, which is the authentic chemical for $101.59, plus for Nutrien Solutions on Panoramic in the 2.5 gallons of $87.70. That is a generic form, but there are some people that actually request the actual Plateau and some request using the Panoramic. For the 240 amine, my request is from Nutrien Solutions for Platoon, which is $16.10 for 2.5 gallon jugs. And the reason for that is in case we need a few jugs and stuff like that, because typically I got the bid for 265 gallon plus, which that I am wanting for $15.20. And in there, Agera 24D is also listed the same price, so that's more or less for availability in case they can't get the one in. And so that, so. For Tordon, 22K from Van Dees for $49.03. For non-onyx surfactant, Nutrien Solutions, and that I did some checking into. Some of them active in some of them listings like Drexel Surface Pro or AC 9910 for $9.20, Activator 90 for $18.20, and Liberate for $24.60. When I started checking into this, the usage rate is a lot less for some of those higher dollar amounts. And besides, the Activator 90 and the Liberate actually don't have any alcohol that will evaporate when you turn around and have high heat. And so that where the 910 will do some evaporation easier. So
Steve, can you go back up to Nutrien
Nope.
Solutions?
Yep.
The Oligare, is that it?
Yep.
for that? Can you cover that bid?
Oh,
again?
okay, yeah, that 2.5 gallons also for $16.10, and the 270 gallons for $15.20, Valgary. Yep.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney. Any discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank
Steve.
you.
Thank you, Steve.
Just moving on to item number 9. This is a note. The annual local weed board town and township soup supper and meeting is coming up on March 11th at 6 p.m. And that's going to be held at the Codington County Extension Center Complex.
I have to make a note on that.
Okay.
I guess some people are getting it for Thursday, the 11th. On some postcards, I think the towns and township state sent the wrong day, the right date.
So is it? It is the 11th,
It is the 11th.
which is a Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday, March 11th. Okay. All right. Item number 10 is action to approve abatement applications. Claims for payment? Action to approve automatic budget supplements. Wow. Wiping them all out here. That moves us down to number 15, public notices. A possible quorum of commissioners could be in attendance at that annual meeting that we just talked about, which is Wednesday, March 11th, 6 p.m. at the Codington County Extension Building. Anybody else have anything? Or may have a quorum?
GOP meeting is tomorrow. Pizza Ranch.
Pizza Ranch tomorrow at noon. Be there or be square. Anything else? All right, seeing none. Let's move on to old business, number 16. Anything for old business? Commissioner Gable?
Here, just jail update. Precast is going up. I think you guys are aware of that. So if you drive by, you'll see the facade of the front of the building is most of the pieces are there. There's actually starting to work at some of the interior walls that are precast. Not all the interior walls are precast, but some of that's been erected as well. So it's moving along. I mean, they're dealing with weather and things like that, and working through the bits and pieces.
Should be able to get some work done this week. It's supposed to be really nice.
Supposed to-
That's good.
supposed to.
Anything else for old business? Anything for new business? Item number 17. Nothing for new business? Anything for the open, public comments? Is anybody here to give public comment? Come on up, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. And if you just have a seat there, if you would, for me, and identify yourself and tell us why you're here today.
Thanks for the time. My name is James Simmons. I live here in town. Coming in for an issue that was brought up at a previous meeting. I printed off the notes here. This is from November 25th. Sheriff Brad Howell mentioned that the county signed, or that the sheriff's department signed, a 60-day agreement to test out Flock cameras. Flock is a brand. These are license plate readers that will be in the vehicles that work with the cameras that we currently have in the vehicles. This is at no expense to the county. I learned of this recently with a news article that was published in KXLG on their news website, where the chief deputy, Brent Solon, went on to explain a little bit more about the system and talk about how it's a license plate reader that assists in law enforcement in finding like stolen vehicles and lost children and stuff like that. So it sounds pretty innocuous. My concern is around the brand themselves. Flock Safety, as the company is concerned, is what they're called. On one hand, they market their cameras as simply a license plate reader, but in reality, if you go to their website and look at the information, there's a much broader scope and function for the cameras in the system that they use. So it does more than just take a simple picture of the license plate. What the system does is it takes 6 up to 12 pictures of all angles of a vehicle passing by, of every vehicle passing by. It creates what the system calls, what Flock Safety describes themselves as, a vehicle fingerprint. So they're looking at a number of different unique identifiers, not just license plates. They're looking at color differentiations, bumper stickers, damage, anything that they can use to identify your vehicle from another one. So even if you don't have license plates on the vehicle, they can still identify you just based off what the vehicle looks like. So that all that information gets stored locally, or I'm sorry, it does not get stored locally. It gets stored in a cloud database that is accessible via the internet. That database is searchable with anybody who has a username and password. So not just Codington County Sheriff, but anybody who has access to Flock Safety's entire network. So it creates quite the security risk and privacy risk. The system also allows for searchability beyond just license plate numbers. So if you go to the system, if you have a username and password, you can log in and you can do more than just type in, I'm looking for this vehicle, license plates, da, 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 da. You can type in there, and I've copied this directly from Flock's own website. It says their system allows searches for what it calls a vehicle fingerprint that go beyond default settings, enabling searches based on everyday language, such as white sports car with a racing stripe, or you can search for red pickup truck with a dog in the bed. So it allows for an AI style search database where you can basically search for anything and track a vehicle or a person. And so it's very concerning as a public, private citizen, for the level of invasiveness that it introduces to the community. And so I don't know if I want to bore you with these, but I've got a handful of different specific real world examples where the system was misused by people who had access to it. Very concerning. And so simply what I would request is the county reconsider the 60-day trial with Flock Safety. If the 60-day trial does proceed forward, I would ask that any documentation between the county, the sheriff's department, and Flock Safety be made publicly available. And then if after the 60-day trial is over with, if the sheriff's department wants to proceed forward with a larger contractual agreement with Flock Safety, that the issue be brought forward to a public hearing for discussion. And so,
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, can I get your name again? Just
Yeah.
for
My name is James Simmons.
James Simmons. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Mr. Simmons, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Commission comments. Is there any comments from the commission? Nobody has anything? All right. Do we have a need to go into executive session again? No need for anything. All right, we'll look for motion to adjourn.
So move.
Whoa, one at a time. All right. Motion by Commissioner McElhaney, second by Commissioner Schwer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.